Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back CTKS family. Here you'll learn how to become fearless in financial markets, to assist you to become more of a financial and emotional blessing to yourself and those you love. If you're new to the CTKS method timing cheat sheet, it can look a little bit overwhelming, but in time you'll get to understand it. For members of the CTKS method service, the NASDAQ structural levels and the Apple structural levels and gold structural levels have been released on the Express service. One thing that's really fascinating with Apple right now, it's coming into very, very strong structural support. We originally noticed that the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ was weakening last week because Apple was losing it. But now that Apple is coming into strong structural support, everything may turn around. Unfortunately, it's not such a good news story for gold. Gold has a lot of structural overhead resistance. We've seen positive momentum in the DXY and associated Forex pairs. We've also seen positive momentum mean reversion in the 2-year and the 10-year yields. I pointed this out quite a while ago. It was going to place the markets under negative price momentum. That's what timing is all about. When we have timing, we can avoid getting liquidated like this. Ay caramba, yesterday, in the past 24 hours, there were over $700 million of liquidations in the crypto market, and it took out nearly 214,000 positions. With timing, you're very unlikely to get taken out because you're looking very broadly. You're looking at Forex, you're looking at commodities, you're looking at the bond market, you're looking at the things that move the market. You're also connecting the stock market to the crypto market. Crypto market is very, very hands-on when it comes to risk. With the potential of a spot Bitcoin ETF being approved, wow, that's got the crypto market pretty happy. But crypto went through capitulation yesterday. It literally melted down. As soon as everybody thinks one thing is going one way, you can be assured that the people with the money say, oh, that's an overcrowded trade. I'm not interested. I'm going to go the other way. Overcrowded trades are very destructive to your portfolio. One thing to also note, total is approaching structural resistance. It's had a lot of trouble with this structural resistance level for quite a while. But Bitcoin is improving. That's pretty good news. Okay, let's look through the major levels. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. All indicators that I use come from the CTKS method service at ctksmethod.org. Let's run the numbers. Let's have a look at the levels of structural support and structural resistance on Bitcoin. We can also see that Bitcoin is so far following the normalized positive price path. This is good news. We can see also that Bitcoin rallied up to very strong structural resistance at 45,430. Couldn't maintain it and couldn't maintain this structural support at 44,000. It had to come through multiple safety nets to get reflected back up. And now it's starting to approach this $44,000 level again. The way to interpret structural support and structural resistance is really straightforward. If it's not going above, it's going below. But if it is going above, it's going to the next structural resistance level. If it's going below, it's going to the next structural support levels. You'll also notice that some are thicker and some are thinner. Sometimes you get an aggregation of structural levels. Aggregations mean stronger. Bitcoin is currently $44,102. If Apple comes into structural support and bounces, we would expect positive follow-through from the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. We would expect the DXY and dollar yen to weaken, the yields to weaken as well, the VIX to weaken. There is the potential, if that occurs, for gold and silver to go up. The thing to remember, Apple is one of the most major companies on the planet. So let's look at those levels. Apple was a $3 trillion corporation. You can see it's lost $171 billion of market value. Or in the words of Bart Simpson, ay caramba! When you look at Apple from this perspective, you can see it's just plummeting down. There's been many times when we've looked at other high growth and tech stocks and seen this kind of behavior. Everybody was bailing out, and this especially happened with Tesla last year. At that time, Tesla was just plummeting, and I was saying to everybody, oh, there's a lot of structural support under there, don't flee, buy. And that was pretty much the point where Tesla turned around. If you remember that, just give a call out in the comments. Structural support is incredibly important. We can see pre-market that Apple is down, and we can see that it closed up here, but it's down here. Let's zoom in there. When we look at price coming down and down and down, and we don't know where the structural levels are, we're just literally guessing inside financial markets. Let's pop on the indicator that was released out into the service today. One thing that we do see, Apple is hitting safety net after safety net. What's happening here? We're getting more and more safety nets, and I'll show you something really cool. Oh, check that out. There's a lot of safety nets under there. Those safety nets are really strong. It doesn't mean that Apple will simply stop coming down. It could come down a little bit further. The thing to always remember, all of these structural support levels are like safety nets. The more safety nets you get into and the stronger they are and the more aggregated they are, they become really, really strong. They catch price and fling it back. If you've ever heard the term mean reversion, you know exactly what structural support levels do and structural resistance levels do as well. In terms of normalized price path analysis, we are expecting a bit of a technical bounce to occur inside Apple. This will take a lot of that pressure off the dollar and yields, and consequently bring risk-on activity back into the market. Apple is so vital to understand. It's a major player, one of the largest corporations on the entire earth. Be on the lookout for Apple finding that structural support. If that occurs, we would expect absolutely that Bitcoin would seek to make its way to 45,407. This is why it's utterly important to get your timing right. If you're an investor, you need to time your purchases. So many people inside the community saw this really big long wick coming, and we were anticipating it for quite some time because things were out of alignment, and that capitulation that occurred was major. Just remember, if Apple bounces technically, it could bounce the entire markets, the stock market and crypto. If Bitcoin comes up, your crypto alts are likely to explode upwards at least 2 to 3 to 1 in percentage terms. I've just shown you the indicator for Bitcoin as well as Apple, so a tier 1 and a tier 2 chart. Gold is looking really interesting. It's got a lot of overhead structural resistance. That indicator, that TradingView indicator, is now out at ctksmethod.org. You'll find that one of the most important things that you can ever do is to get your synchronization factor up. We'll just quickly go through the cheat sheet one more time. It will really help you. Always remember, you control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return. You should have 3 distinct strategies playing out simultaneously. A down strategy where you expect the price to go down, and you know what you're going to do if that happens. A neutral strategy where the price just flatlines, it goes nowhere. And we saw a lot of that today. And an up strategy. Most people have either an up or a down, but they don't have both, and they definitely don't have 3. You want 3 strategies simultaneously. I created the CTKS method timing cheat sheet, and it's available as a free printable template on ctksmethod.org for you to help you to get into synchronization. You can literally look at the entire market on one page. What you can see, there's a lot of red. These are red alerts. Anytime that something is highlighted like this, it means be careful. Fighting against Apple currently, even though Apple is coming into strong structural support, it has something to contend with. The probability of an ease was yesterday 8.8%, today it's 4.7%. This places positive pressure on the yields and the dollar, US dollar pairs. That places negative momentum into the stock market and into the crypto market. It makes the VIX want to jump up and party, and we don't like the VIX partying because that's not healthy. You can see that Apple is very weak on its momentum. It's strong negative in terms of its momentum, and its trend is not so good either. But this is why we do timing, because we want to understand where the structure is inside the market. That's the really, really strong safety nets like brick floors and brick ceilings for resistance. This could really pull the rug out from underneath people if Apple starts to bounce from a technical level. Nobody will be anticipating it. Don't forget that timing done right is done early. The timing cheat sheet, which is available free of charge, is just incredible. It will raise your synchronization to levels you previously would believe would be impossible. When you are synchronized, you will make profits from the market. This is because all markets are intercorrelated and interdependent. If you're only looking at a specific chart that you're putting money into and missing the bigger picture, that's a big problem because the bigger picture is what you need. The cheat sheet will really help you out there. Also, remember to keep a really positive mindset. If things go against you, it's just a learning experience. It's literally the tuition fee of the markets. You'll find that you pay extra tuition fees if you blame, so that's why we don't do it. Instead, we're dedicated and committed. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.